Guys, what is going on? I am in Ashburn, Virginia, probably the town that you asked me the most about when buyers call me off this YouTube video. So we're gonna be doing a full driving tour of Ashburn and showing you what living in Ashburn is all about. So we gotta start with what I think is numero uno, but really quick, my friends at My Sugar Exotics, when they found out I was doing a driving tour, they were like, hey, do you wanna borrow one of our luxury cars? And I was like, of course. So check this out. They let me borrow a Ferrari. So if you're ever in the DC area and need a luxury car or car service, definitely hit up My Sugar Exotics. So right now, I am in One Loudoun, probably the best spot in all Ashburn right here. All the shopping, you got rooftop bars, movie theaters. There's a really cool carnival going on. And look at this place, all kinds of construction. And guess what? It's gonna be doubling in size here shortly. And then the highway is just right over here. To get back into Ashburn, you head towards Leesburg. So let's go ahead and drive around for a minute. We're gonna start our tour here in One Loudoun. I'm gonna show you some neighborhoods, some shopping, things to do, schools. So let's jump in this bad boy. All right, so like I said, we're starting off here in One Loudoun. This is kind of like the new center. I mean, it's not brand new, but this is kind of like the center of the Ashburn area, kind of where everyone goes and hangs out and all of that. And I almost just hit somebody in a Corvette. So this right here, so let me drive around and give you a good tour. It's funny then, this place has some wild security. Like, so if they ever catch me filming, you know, they chase me like I'm trying to record, you know, I don't even know, some kind of secret missiles or something. But anyway, so right here, you've got the parking lots. There's plenty to do. You've got people walking around. What I really like about it, kind of the center of this is going to be an Alamo Draft House, and it's a really cool movie theater where you can sit, have a beer. They play older movies. We actually had a client party there where we had everybody come and we rented it out for Snow White when it came out. And so it's a really cool spot. But look how beautiful the shopping center is. You can see like outside dining sections. And then as we pull up here, you're gonna see these really cool water fountains. It's a little bit of a cool summer day here, so there's not many kids out. But usually this is pretty packed with kids everywhere, jumping in all of the waterfalls, you know, the fountains, whatever they're called. And then right ahead of me is that Alamo Draft House. But you can check this out, right? Like there's just people walking around, really cool spot. And you can actually live in this community as well. And I'm gonna show you that. So driving up over here, and I really got a lot to show you guys. So you've got all kinds of different like boutique shops, Sephora. Like I said, there's a big carnival going on right now. There's all kinds of hotels. And then the other side of me, where I'm at right now, there's a ton of construction going on because they are doubling the size of One Loudoun. So there's gonna be, look at this little outdoor park here. There's all kinds of people chilling, working on their laptops, drinking Starbucks, taking their kids, working from home. And this is just a really cool spot. I absolutely love it. And right now, this is like, what, a Wednesday noon, and there is just a ton of people out right now. So let me drive over here, and I want to just give you guys a good tour. So right here, they're gonna be putting in like more hotels, apartments, ice skating rink, businesses. They're trying to get a lot more local businesses. Now these townhomes right here are super expensive. There is a neighborhood in here called One Loudoun, obviously, and these are gonna be about $1 million to $1.3 million, but you're gonna have a elevator, a rooftop terrace. It's gonna be about 4 levels, a rear garage as well. So all kinds of amenities. And I'm gonna show you guys that neighborhood as well and what it includes. So there's also a Trader Joe's here as well at One Loudoun. And then of course, like I said, they have their own movie theater, Bar Louie, you know, pretty much anything you can think of. The only thing I'll tell you, on the weekends, this does get really packed. Like there's not many cool things over here. Now also in this area, you have the Commanders, and right now they're actually in spring, or they're actually not in, they're in training camp right now because we're in football season, and they're practicing at their bubble. So a lot of the Commanders and the football players all live over here. So you'll see them walking around pretty much all the time. And so a lot of people probably, because I'm driving this car, probably think I'm one of them, but I don't, definitely they're gonna be a lot faster than me. So you can just see, like, this is a really cool spot. Like I don't live actually in Ashburn, but I come around here all the time. I mean, like Container Store, just like all kinds of different stores. Now I'm not a big shopper, but like you can see Ashburn, like this right here really just kind of set off Ashburn, because now there's just like so much to do over here. And when you have a shopping center as big as this, I mean, this is like practically a town. It just sets off a community. All right, so now what I want to do, you know, is kind of give you guys a good look at the neighborhood over here. So you can buy a house or a townhouse. Like I said, this is going to be tip top luxury, definitely like the upper end of Ashburn for sure. So I would say Ashburn, the average or medium sales price, probably looking at like $770. This neighborhood right here is going to be, like I said, in the millions of dollars range. And you can see like for sale signs, One Loudoun, like it's really strict over here. They make the realtors put the One Loudoun logo on all of the signs, but I just love the way these look. They're really contemporary, like different looking. And like I said, the rooftop terrace, you can't beat that. Another neighborhood that I'll either show in this video or I'm going to drive by in another video is going to be Brambleton. And then you got this really cool mural right here of just like, you know, I don't even know what the heck's going on over here, but this is really neat as well. You got the train tracks, Air and Space Museum shout out, the eagle flying. So really beautiful setup, but I want to show you guys just how beautiful this area is. They got this thing called Central Park, and the neighbors, you can rent it out if you live in here. It's like a community center, and there's like jogging, walking paths over there, and then they also have like their own health club and fitness center, and so houses in here sell really quick. Now the cool thing about Ashburn, we're going to show on this video as well, is they have a metro station for the Silver Line, which is like was a big deal when it came in. It's only 2 or 3 years old, and that was a really big deal, and that's just really helped home values. And then you'll see a lot of like buses and things like that. So a lot of the communities, unless you're deep in like Fairfax and like Reston, Tyson, Springfield, that area, Alexandria, Arlington, you're not going to get that metro. And that's the cool thing about Ashburn, is they do have their own Silver Line stop, and you can take that right over into Tyson's or maybe even like Reston if you're working in there. And a lot of my buyers that talk to me, that's what they end up doing. All right, so now we're going to head over to the Central Park, and then also I want to show you guys the single family homes. By the way, you better hit that subscribe button. I mean, come on, is anyone else driving around like me in a Ferrari? My God, my poor thing. Trust me, this definitely isn't my car, so definitely use me to buy or sell a house. I wish it was, but again, shout out to My Sugar Exotics. I'm gonna jump out. You guys gotta see this really quick. Look how cool this spot is. All right, so this is Central Park, right, for One Loudoun, the Community Neighborhood Association. So you've got all these walking trails, all kinds of things to do. They can also, you bring your dog over here. There's a little like river thing going over through there, but you can check out these beautiful single family homes. I mean, this place is just like absolutely sweet. Look at all this like green space right here. There's plenty of green space in this neighborhood as well. So again, One Loudoun, I'm gonna drive you over to the fitness center and like the pool area for this neighborhood. And then we're gonna keep going on this tour of a beautiful Ashburn, Virginia. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home anywhere in Northern Virginia or the DMV, info@colganteam.com or text me at the number below. Let's keep going on this driving tour. All right, so I'm gonna drive you guys really quick just around this part so you can kind of see what it's like. You know, it's funny, a lot of people that buy off of me on YouTube, and we get most of our buyers and sellers come from YouTube. They really like the tours we do because it gives you a good perspective of just like what some of the houses look like. Now, typically in Virginia, Northern Virginia, you're gonna get a lot of like colonials, but these are definitely like these modern style houses are definitely different, these contemporary style houses. I definitely like them. I like how they did the brick on these as well. And then the townhomes are just massive. Now, a lot of people that aren't familiar with townhomes are always like, hey, you know, what's up with these townhomes? But man, some of them are as big as houses, you know, they're huge. I lived in one for a while and I really enjoyed it as well. And you could see like just how beautifully maintained this neighborhood is as a whole. And Ashburn in general, mostly everything like schools, pretty much all of that are all gonna be brand spanking new. Everything was probably built since like 2005 over here. So I'm gonna come up here. So what we're doing now is we're still in this like One Loudoun area. And so this is actually the actual neighborhood where you could live. I don't know how much the HOA fee is. It's probably expensive. I just want to show you like the little community center. So right to the right of me, you've got pickleball, tennis courts, and it's kind of cool today. And the schools go back next week or two, but this is an awesome community center they have with like a gym. I see a big playground back there. They've got the pool. So this spot right here is just amazing. So absolutely love it. I would live here, to be honest, if I had the money. This would probably be one of the first neighborhoods I would choose, just because like you can walk around, like your kids can walk around everywhere to One Loudoun. You can walk to all the restaurants, bars, the movie theater. You've got the rooftop terrace, you know, and so, but again, definitely gets pricey. But I'm gonna be showing you some other places that will be a lot more affordable here in Loudoun, quote unquote. Unaffordable, because it's not like Ashburn is the most cheapest place around. All right, guys, so let's keep going on this tour. I think I'm gonna show you the next, probably the best thing about Ashburn next. I'm probably gonna be saying that a lot, so we'll keep driving on this tour. All right, so now we just left One Loudoun and we are back on the highway here. Now, probably what you're gonna see a lot of in Ashburn, and maybe while you're watching this video, maybe even while you're moving here, is going to be data centers. This is definitely where the king of data centers is, this, and then Gainesville and Haymarket, Manassas area. But just a ton of data centers, data center jobs for sure. And something like 70% of the world's internet runs through Loudoun County and Prince William County at some point. But up here on the left is, you're gonna see the Redskins, or well, I guess they're Commanders, practice bubble, which is kind of cool. So this is where they practice. All the players live around here, like I said. Right now they are in a training camp and they actually let people come for free. And I can see the huge Commanders flag hanging up. This area here is definitely a big football area. Everyone is into the Commanders. Hockey's big too, like as far as the Capitals, but especially with Jaden Daniels, everyone just is really into the Commanders. And this is really fun because they were really good last year. It's like you'll come over here, man, and there's just like tons of people, especially when they have an event. Thousands of people waiting in line to get over to the to go watch training camp. So it's really popular. And like I said, you'll walk around One Loudoun, Brambleton, Broadlands especially, and a lot of the players live there. I'm good friends with Santana Moss. He played on the Commanders for a long time, and we had him and Austin Eckler at one of our client parties. And they always tell me, man, they're like, man, I cannot believe how big Northern Virginia is into football. And I'm like, yeah, it is huge here. And you can actually see all the dirt there from all the fans that were there earlier. So now I want to take you guys over to the metro area, because that's going to be like where a lot of things in the future are going to be popping off for Ashburn. And what I mean by that, but like new subdivision, new housing, the Loudoun County Center, business development, everything is going around the Silver Line Metro. It came out here a couple years ago, right? And it's not like, they didn't get everything built, but it got finished during all the COVID mess. And so there's so much planned communities coming out here, and it's got so much upside. And that's why I think Loudoun, especially in Ashburn especially, it's just got so much upside for the values to keep increasing, because there's not much land out here anymore. It looks like it is, but most of this is data center land, and they're not building housing. So you're seeing, you know, stuff like this metro just being super convenient, and you can take it right into, especially with return to work, you can take it into Reston, Arlington, DC if you want, and you can buy for like $300 a month an unlimited trip pass and go in there. So it's super convenient. But let's head over to the metro and show you guys that, and show you what that's all about over there. All right, so we're kind of over a little bit by this data center alley area. You may be working in the data center industry if you're even watching this video, or maybe like Amazon Web Services. So most of the jobs around here in Ashburn are going to be tech related jobs. So many like data center companies, like just all over the place, you know, Microsoft, everyone, Meta uses this, TikTok, they're all based, like all their data centers are based here in Ashburn. You can see all the power lines and all of that. And it was a pretty good idea. Like Buddy Reiser, I know him pretty well. He was on my podcast. He kind of helped bring all these data centers in. And one of the things is, and right over here is the Verizon campus as well, and then Quantum Park. And you can just see all kinds of growth and construction going on over here. But like they brought in these data centers, and it's been controversial, right? Like they're not the most beautiful buildings whatsoever. But what I will say is Loudoun's been able to have a super low, like compared to other counties, tax rate because of all the tax revenue they're making off of these data centers. So that would definitely be the upside. But like QTS is a huge one. There's a bunch of these companies around here, and it's just like, I feel like they're like never ending, but I mean, they're paying sometimes $3 to $4 million for an acre of land just for data center land. So it is super popular, but it's such a lucrative thing, right? And with the evolution of AI, there's just a lot more. But like, again, driving around here, even I'm looking around, I'm like, these are not the most beautiful buildings, but they do bring in a lot of tax revenue, and they are very controversial here in Northern Virginia. So I don't really have an opinion on them. You know what I mean? It's almost like politics. So now we're kind of heading over towards this metro area. This is really nice, folks. Like, makes Ashburn kind of just have so much upside. And like, if you really wanted to, it's going to be a long ride, but you can ride it into DC and go to like Central Station and all of that and take it to the Pentagon, you know, and that's what's really cool about it. And a lot of people have bought houses from me on YouTube that watch this channel. Hopefully you will as well. And like, they're just like, hey, you know what? Like, we're close to Dallas Airport. I can just fly, drive on the metro, go to Dallas whenever I want, jump on an international flight. And then you have housing over here, like Loudoun Station apartments. And then there's a Regency over there, which is like active adults. So there's all kinds of housing just being built up over in this area to kind of like fill in this Loudoun Station. And there's businesses, there's restaurants, you know, parking garages. And it's cool, like, so you could literally like live right here in Loudoun Station and Ashburn and walk over or take a bicycle over to the metro station. And like, here's parking for the metro. And then look how cool this is. Like, this is all brand new. There's all kinds of like restaurants right here. Like I said, this is where economic development is located. There's just so much going on over here. And then you'll be shocked when you see how nice this metro is. And like, there's restaurants like the Senior Tequilas. You go around this little circle here, and like, most of this stuff in Loudoun is a lot different, and Ashburn is just a lot different than most places in Northern Virginia, because it's all like super walkable, you know. And well, I guess I'm taking a wrong turn here. So it's all like super walkable. I'm really wanting to show you and there's an AMC movie theater. So I mean, there's just so much to do here. They've built a lot of these. Right, but let me get you guys close over to this metro and like, let's take a look at that. All right, so now we are heading like over to Ashburn Metro Drive, kind of by the Kiss and Ride, or like where you can drop off family and all of that. And you see this beautiful brand spanking new metro. Let me tell you about DC. This isn't like, you know, New York subways. These things are super nice, super clean, nice and safe. Their security, but like, you can see like, kind of the downside is right now they're just not being utilized like they should. But look how nice and beautiful this station is. Super clean. You've got buses over there that will take you wherever you want for a bus stop. You got some people there getting on, you know, right here at the entrance. You can walk right up from this AMC over here. So this spot right here is just killer, man. There's just so much upside if you're going to buy in Ashburn, because the growth is going to keep happening around this metro area. And let me just jump out real quick and you can take a look at it. So right here is the metro line right here. You just walk across that little walkway. The other side, there's more parking as well. Tons to do. And then you can see, like, you can't really see over these trees, but there's all kinds of development over here as well. There's housing going in, there's all kinds of different things. So huge upside. I hope you guys are liking this tour so far. Definitely smash that subscribe button. Comment below where you're watching from. And if you're thinking about moving here, you better hit me up, info@colganteam.com. Let's keep going on this tour of beautiful Ashburn, Virginia. All right, so now we are heading over to Ashburn Village. This is like probably built in like the 90s. This is one of the original, you know, big neighborhoods out here. This one actually has about like, I think it's something crazy like 5,000 homes. This is like where you're gonna get like the more quote unquote affordable stuff, you know, talking somewhere like 500,000-600,000 for a townhome. Single families will be like 700,000-800,000, somewhere around those price points. But this area, like 5,000 houses, multiple community events, community center, all kinds of different things to do. And like, I think there's like multiple pools, but you can see plenty of townhomes with like garages, non-garages, like pretty much whatever you're looking for. And I really like this location because there's all kinds of different shopping centers around. Like, I just left a brand new one. And then right over here to the left of me is like a bus stop. So you could take that bus if you really wanted to only use public transportation and like ride right over to the metro. But this area is gonna be a lot more affordable. And you're talking like, you know, a 90s townhome for 500, no garage, you know, and it's still a good size, nice place. And a lot of people around here, they keep their places up. But I mean, 5,000 homes, this is a huge neighborhood. But just looking around, I see all signs for events. There's all kinds of different colonial style homes with like vinyl siding. You've got new schools around here. They've got their own schools in this area. Then another elementary school right here, just shopping centers. And you're close to all the action, right? You're still only 5-10 minutes away from One Loudoun, Data Center Alley, and pretty much everything that there is to do around here. And so this is gonna be like the more like great place for like a first-time home buyer or a family like wanting like a bigger community with like more just mature trees, and it's not brand new and expensive. But if you want only new construction, there's plenty of new construction around here. What I will tell you is a lot of the new construction is going to be townhome style condos that are going to be stackable, and they're going to be really expensive. So you might be better off buying like one of these 90s style 2000s townhomes or a single family. Like a new single family in Ashburn around here is probably going to be $1.5 million. So it is definitely not cheap nor affordable. So I would definitely check out neighborhoods like this Ashburn Village. And that's what I usually do, is I can jump on a Zoom with you. We can go through like what your budget is, what areas you're thinking, and I can tell you, hey, you know what, Ashburn might not be that great area, or a lot of people will consider Leesburg, or maybe even like a Herndon, Virginia. And so that's something that I can sit down with you literally on a Zoom. That's what most of my buyers, people call me every day from this YouTube channel, but you can see like you have so many different types of housing options. And then right here is a shopping center, Ashburn Village Center, Dunkin' Donuts, sushi, pretty much anything and everything. And like a single family right here, $650,000 to $800,000, probably $2,500 on the top two levels. And then most houses around here will have a finished basement as well. And it's really cool. Like you see all these community signs. Right here is the Ashburn Village Sports Pavilion as well. So there's just like so much to do here. And then there's a huge daycare center right here. So these neighborhoods, they built these neighborhoods, they just have like so many different amenities. And then most people I would say that live here work in the data industry, you know, places like that. So let's keep going around, going on this tour. I got some really cool spots I want to show you guys. Yeah, so now we're over here in the old Ashburn area. This is really charming. You've got like a lot of the old, this kind of like the original part. But you can see you've got some newer townhomes is here. Then you've got some older, charming housing as well. And then you're also close to the big walking trail, which obviously isn't my thing. But you know, you can get one of these townhouses at anywhere from like $700,000 to $800,000. And like I said, the average price, you know, in the Ashburn area is going to run you around like $800,000. You can get some condos for around like $350,000. It would be like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, or maybe 1 bedroom, 1 bath. I mean, pricing in Ashburn is just all over the place. That's one of the good things. But you can see they've built in some newer housing along the area in here. And that's one of the things that I really like about this old town area, like the old Ashburn area. And you can like walk around to the different shops. You got all this like historic charm, which, you know, kind of the original like farmland around here, part of that, the original city, which I think is really nice as well to kind of feature in. But I'm taking you guys over now to this old, this park that's really popular called Dinosaur Park. That's really like unique and kind of funny. I figured I definitely couldn't show you guys Ashburn, but I mean, look at this right here. You have a single family that's probably $3 million next to another house that's probably still $500,000-$600,000, right? So there's all kinds of various housing. Then you have Loudoun Public Schools Training Center. So you just have just like so much going on in this old Ashburn area. And this is really charming as well if you want like that old Americana, like, you know, Virginia feel, which I actually like too. Another place if you're looking for something like that would be Manassas, Virginia, which is gonna be a little bit more affordable, but this is Ashburn Park, and I really wanted to just show you guys this. This is really a cool little unique spot. I'll kind of jump out and show you really quick. So now over here in this Ashburn Park, you got all the walking trails. They call it Dino Park, kind of set up like an old dinosaur theme, like the Flintstones. And then you've got all these baseball fields, all of that, and this like all kinds of walking trails. There's plenty of like spots for your kids or whatever you wanted to do here in Ashburn, but I want to show you guys like 1 or 2 other spots on this like quick driving tour of Ashburn. All right, so one of the popular things about Ashburn, or makes it really popular, desirable, are the school systems. So the schools here are really ranked high. I'm right here at Broad Run High School. This has an A rating on niche.com. It's the 46th ranked school in all of the state of Virginia. So Loudoun County really does have some great schools. And, you know, we're still in summer here. School starts in about 2 or 3 weeks, and I can hear the football team on the other side practicing. And this is going to be one of the older schools, you know, but most of the schools here in Loudoun are going to be brand new. That's because most of the neighborhoods are brand new. And then, like, you can see some housing over in the distance over here. So, like, single families, like I said, 600,000 to 800,000, $1 million if you're going to get something bigger, up to like 1.2 million for like newer single family, like modern. And you can still get townhomes for 600,000 to 900,000. Somewhere around there. And then, like I said, there are condos. So you did condos around like 350 to 400. So you do, yes, it's expensive, but you have all kinds of different price points. And don't forget, we're in the richest county in all of America, Loudoun County, with an average household income or medium household income of around $155,000. Now, one other huge plus I want to talk about is Dulles Airport is literally 10 minutes away. So you have an international airport 10 minutes away. Now, the downside is, yes, you are going to hear some airplanes. It's not terribly bad, but you are going to hear them. Now, my last stop, I want to show you probably one of the coolest neighborhoods in all of the United States. Let's make our way over there. Surprise you guys. All right, so now we are at one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Northern Virginia, and if not everywhere, is going to be Brambleton, Virginia. I've done plenty of videos on this area, but I wanted to showcase it. Kind of like connects to Ashburn. So technically it's part of Ashburn, it's almost its own town, but it just has so much green space. I mean, I'm at the community park. Look how huge this area is, right? Like, they have, this community was all meant to be like walking. And so they have like their own school systems, parks, pretty much anything and everything that you could imagine. Movie theater, trails, everywhere. But look at all these community fields, right? There's a community center there. Then you've got soccer fields, baseball fields, football fields, pretty much anything and everything. And then there's another community park right across the street, and there's all kinds of like walking trails, bike trails. So this is really meant to be like a true walking community, and you're like a couple minutes right outside of Ashburn. And then we're also close to Belmont Ridge Park, which is like another huge community. If you wanted to work in this area or kind of be in this area right here, you're going to be close to also to Aldie, Virginia, which is close to Route 50. So you could hit like Route 7, head on up there towards Tyson's Corner or Reston, Herndon. I will say, if you're going to commute from Ashburn and Brambleton over to Arlington, like maybe you're working at the new Amazon HQ2, or maybe you're in Tyson's, that can get a little bit of a ride, you know, like a little bit of a traffic too. So a lot of my Amazon buyers that watch my YouTube, and look at all this green space as I'm just sitting here driving around, looking how beautiful Brambleton is. I mean, look at this. You've got all this green space. This neighborhood's kind of funny too. Like, you'll drive around and you'll see like Lamborghinis and, you know, McLarens and, well, Ferrari, like I'm driving. And thanks again to My Sugar Exotics. You know, that's the reason they did that, is we have a huge popular Instagram, and I have 15 million viewers a month, and then this YouTube gets about 150,000 a week. And so we really get in front of Northern Virginia. So if you are looking for more information, or maybe you're looking to buy or sell and you're just watching our content, you know, definitely appreciate it. Like, if you use us to buy or sell, we'd love to interview for the job. Also, you know, we always break the latest breaking news about what's going on in Northern Virginia. And we have a newsletter called Real Nova Network, and a channel where we talk about breaking news for Northern Virginia. So Brambleton, they've got a really cool One Life, which is owned by the Josh Harris, who owns the Commanders. You've got Harris Teeter, you know, coffee, Pete's Coffee, pretty much anything and everything. But this thing, like, I've come up here before, and there's like all kinds of, you know, food trucks out. There's people playing music in the city area, the square area. There's kids running around. There's a carnival going on. This neighborhood is always literally popping, and it is cool, like very family friendly. And I wanted to just show you guys the shopping center. And like I said, this is the type of thing where you see people walking around picking their kids up from daycare or school. And again, you're going to see kind of similar housing that what you would have over in One Loudoun, these large 4-level townhomes, and a lot of them are walkable to the town square here in Brambleton. And they have their own Regal Theater, which is really cool as well. And then the One Life here has a huge outdoor area where you can like swim. They've got an outdoor pool. They've got all kinds of things. And there's a parking garage here. But you can see all the townhouses. You've got teenagers walking around, kids walking around. Pretty much, you know, really active community. And I'm going to take a left because I want you guys to see this awesome shopping center right here. But look, right ahead is the One Life. And then there's like a little bit of a town square. You've got the ice cream shop, Rebel Taco and Katina. You've got all the kids on these electric scooters right now going around. Just so much to do here. And then right here is all kinds of waterfalls. I mean, I see people playing on the waterfalls or water fountains with the Regal Cinema right there. And like, look how beautiful this area is. Completely walkable. You can buy one of these townhomes, and like literally if you wanted to go into DC on the weekend to the Kennedy Center, jump on the metro system, like whatever you wanted to do. And I had to do this Ashburn tour and definitely show you guys Brambleton. I could not do this without showing you Brambleton, and I absolutely love this neighborhood, and you can just like walk around everywhere. So again, pricing in here, it's going to be expensive. It's definitely going to be on the upper end. I mean, you're talking like 1 million to 1.2 million for sure to get a single family, and they don't have huge lots. So if you're only looking for stuff with really like huge lots, you know, like a quarter acre, that's definitely not going to be Brambleton or even Ashburn per se. You're probably best going to be to go out towards Leesburg, Virginia, or maybe even like Haymarket, Gainesville, Virginia. But you can see like some of these townhomes right here have detached 2-car garages, and then right here you've got the center area of Brambleton with all of the playgrounds and tot lots over here by like Legacy Park. So this is a really cool spot as well. So guys, you know, I know Northern Virginia. I'm sitting here driving around, giving you driving tours. We're dropping videos all the time. Definitely smash that subscribe button. And like I said, if you are looking to buy or sell, we can definitely jump on a Zoom with you. And I hope you guys are enjoying this quick driving tour of Ashburn, Virginia. If you're moving here, I think you really will love Northern Virginia. Guys, I will see you at the top or from the top. I'm gonna keep enjoying this Ferrari.